My dear viewers and students, warm greetings from SRM Classes Patna. I have already discussed about the first unit of the structure of India, that is Deccan Plateau or the Southern Plateau, in part 1 section of this video. Now I am going to discuss the second and the third unit of the structure of India, which are Northern Himalayan Range and the Indo-Ganga-Brahmaputra Plain. The Northern Himalayan Range or the Himalayas are known as the Young Fold Mountains, which was formed during Tertiary period of the Cenozoic era. Let me describe how the Himalayas have come into existence. Actually, Himalayas have evolved out of the Tethys Sea or Tethys geosyncline. You know that geosyncline is an elongated, narrow and shallow depression of water which is subjected to continuous sedimentation and subsequent subsidence. As the sedimentation and subsidence take place simultaneously, the shallowness of the geosyncline remains always the same. Similarly, the Tethys geosyncline was also shallow and subjected to regular deposition of sediments brought by the rivers coming from the northern Chinese Massif and from the southern Deccan Plateau of India. As a result of this deposition, the bed of the Tethys Sea was regularly subsiding, but the shallowness of the sea was being maintained because of the regular sedimentation. Thickness of the bed of the Tethys geosyncline continued to increase because of the regular sedimentation. As a result of the bed of the Tethys Sea became very thick, comprising the layers of the sedimentary rocks. Actually, this was the initial phase of the formation of Himalayas. In the second phase, the Chinese plate and the Indian plate started moving towards each other because of the increasing load of the sediments on the Tethys geosyncline or Tethys Sea. Later, when these plates moved closer to each other, the intensity of the compressional force increased on the sedimentary bed of the Tethys Sea. As a result of this compressional force, the folds developed on the Chinese and the Indian side. These folds later attained height, forming the Himalayan mountains on the Indian side and Kyundun mountains on the Chinese side. The central part also attained height, forming the Tibetan Plateau. The three parallel ranges of the Himalayas indicate that the Himalayas have been formed in three different phases. The initial phase of the formation of Himalayas was observed in the Pleistocene epoch of the Tertiary period. In the next epoch of Eocene, the Great Himalayas came into existence, marking the first phase of the upheaval of Himalayas. The next epoch of Oligocene, there was a period of quiet. In the Oligocene period, quiet prevailed. During this period, rivers developed on the slopes and began to deposit sediments in the remaining part of the Tethys Sea. The second phase of the formation of Himalayas took place in the Miocene epoch. It was very intense with violent mountain bending earth movement, resulting into large-scale folding. The middle Himalayas were uplifted during Miocene epoch. By the end of this epoch, by about 2/3 of the total formation of Himalayas was completed. Because of the violent upheaval during Miocene epoch, the Great Himalayas attained more height. After Miocene, quiet period prevailed during the entire Pliocene epoch, and during this phase, the drainage system developed. Several rivers and tributaries came into existence on the slopes. And the third and the final phase of formation of the Himalayas took place during Pleistocene epoch of the Quaternary period. As a result, the remaining sediments, comprising mostly muds, sands, boulders, conchs, etc., were folded to form the Shivalik range. Thus, the formation of Himalayas was completed. The rocks which are found in the Himalayas are chiefly sedimentary because it formed the major part of the Tethys geosyncline. Metamorphic rocks are also found in good quantity because the sedimentary rocks have been metamorphosed on account of intense pressure and heat generated during folding. In some places of the Himalayas, igneous rocks are also found because the front part of the Indian plate was broken at various places during the thrust which came from the north. The broken part of the Indian plate, which was composed chiefly of igneous rocks, intruded into the folds of the Himalayas. Now the Himalayas were completed by the end of Pleistocene. The third unit, as we know, that is the Indo-Ganga-Brahmaputra plain, was formed during Holocene or recent period. After the formation of Himalayas, there formed a great depression to the south of this mountain range. This depression is known as the Indo-Gangetic Trough. Rivers which developed on the southern slopes of the Himalayas began to deposit sediments in this trough, and ultimately the entire trough was filled up with the sediments or alluvium. The deposition of sediments in the trough resulted into the formation of a gently sloping plain of Indo-Ganga-Brahmaputra. That is how the plain the Indo-Ganga-Brahmaputra plain has been formed. I think that I have explained the formation of all the units by completing the second part, and I am very much thankful to all of you for giving me a very patient hearing. Thank you so much.